think here they come.
Hey everyone! Thanks for tuning in and helping us celebrate Grandma Eileen's 99th birthday. We're sure some of you have seen her video on the Wendy's Twitter account, but if you haven't, you should go check that out right now. But Eileen's wish for her 99th birthday was to take over our Twitter account for a day so she could share her wisdom with the world, and because she loves Wendy's. So we came to her and we're asking you all to tweet us your questions with hashtag AskEileen, and she will answer them right here, right now, and throughout the afternoon today live on Periscope. So let's get started. First of all, happy birthday.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
About myself, well, I'm 99, as you know, and you want to know where I was born?
Yeah.
Arvada, Colorado, but I was raised in Salt Lake, Utah, and every summer we went to on my grandfather's ranch, so I spent all my summers up until I was 18 on a ranch, riding horses and
cool,
and going after the cows, and so that was my life. I had a very happy childhood.
Neat.
And we had a lot of music in our home, and so as a child I loved bugs, all kinds of, I thought I'd be a zoologist, so I loved all kinds of animals, and so I was a weird child, let's put it that way, because I loved, yes, I was, because I would collect bugs, pollywogs, butterflies, all kinds of stuff like that. My room was just filled with bugs with stuff, with pins stuck in them. But I had all the names written down and everything. So that was my life growing up.
Cool. So multiple people have been sending us questions, so we're going to ask you some of them. A handful of people wanted to know what your favorite Wendy's item is besides the chili, because we know you love the chili.
I love their salads. They're so fresh. I do love their salads very much. And I like that new sandwich that they just put out with the fish, I think.
Oh yeah,
that was the newest one. I like that very much.
Good. Yeah.
Yes.
And another question we've gotten a lot is, what is the most interesting decade you've lived in?
I would say the 50s, 60s, right after the war, after World War II was over.
Hi, ma'am.
Yeah, not
Happy
the
birthday.
50s. Well, hi.
Oh, we have a
Wendy.
special guest.
So nice to meet you, Wendy.
That's Wendy! Grandma, that's Wendy!
Thank you.
So cute.
Thank you.
Oh, did they make you do this? Were you having fun? Were you having fun doing this?
I made all this for you.
Well, thank you. You're
I
so
come here at 5:30 in the morning.
Yes. Oh, well, let me shake your
You
head.
look
That's
beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you. You're not lying, are you?
No, I'm not. You look so beautiful.
Oh, thank you so
So
much.
how? 96?
99. I'm almost 100. Well, I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. No, but that's so sweet of you to do all this decoration and everything.
Yes.
And you put this red, that is so, I think it's perfect. Everything.
Everything. Wendy's, except the shoes.
Oh,
My work shoes. I didn't find the Wendy's shoes. I mean with the shoes.
Oh, well, thank you. You're so cute. Well, are you going to wear this the whole day?
No, just for a couple hours.
Just for a couple of hours?
Yes, just for a couple hours. Yes, when I see you coming, I go and change this.
Okay. Oh, that's so sweet of you. Thank you so much. It's a beautiful wig, isn't it?
I wish you enjoy, okay?
I'm enjoying myself very much. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm going to say, but oh my gracious, I forgot we were being camera.
Oh, no.
Thanks, Wendy!
I got so
Thank you.
Thanks, Wendy!
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right.
Happy birthday, okay? And enjoy the rest of the day.
Oh, I will. I know that I will. Thank you. Oh my gracious. Sakes alive.
So
Anyway.
we're gonna ask you another question, because another very popular question we've gotten is, do you have any dating or relationship advice?
Hey, Joe.
Well, as a young woman, let me take me back to a young woman. Let me take myself back. I think it's very important to the person that whom you're dating. You should really get to know them very well. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to agree on everything. That would be a dull marriage if you agreed on everything. But I think that you have to learn to communicate. And I know that my husband and I, that's what we do. We would, if we disagreed, we would sort of get to the middle of what we were talking about. And so we would come to an agreement. And we were told, we were told when we were married to never go to bed angry. And so I think that's very good advice. We always, figured out what we were supposed to do. And we argued, it's the silly things that you argue about. It isn't the big things. But like I say, marriage would be very dull if you agreed on everything. But I think you have to get to know the person before you marry them.
Any advice for your grandson, Grannis, on dating?
Well, I think that Michael is...
Oh, no. I mean, just in general for grandsons.
I think that Michael has lost a lot of chance. He's a very handsome young man, very capable, but I don't know. But I think there's someone coming into his life right now. So we're keeping our fingers crossed and our toes crossed that this is going to be it. Because he's funny. That's another thing. I don't want to forget that. Have a sense of humor in your marriage. Because you can laugh about things, even serious things, when you're upset about things. And my husband was funny, but he was quiet. He wasn't as loud as the boys. But he was a quiet, funny man. And he kept me in stitches sometimes. And so I think that's important when you have a lot of concerns and worries, if you can take it easy and laugh about it a little bit. Because things work out, somehow things work out, and you look back on it and you say, oh, why were we worried about that? Because, it worked out. So you just take life as it comes and try to be happy with wherever you are. Is that good enough advice? Do you want more?
No.
I'll give you more.
That is
No,
fantastic
that's
advice. So, and the question you knew was coming, what is the key to reaching 99 years old? What's the key to living a long life?
That's a question I'm asked all the time. In fact, the other day I was asked if I had my own teeth. And I thought, okay, well, yes, I do. What? I don't think there is an answer to that. When I grew up, we always ate very good food. Whether that had something to do with it or not, I don't know. Maybe because I wanted to live long enough to see my great-grandchildren. And that's the great thing. I'm old enough that I've been able to enjoy my great-grandchildren and my grandchildren. And some of the family come every Sunday, and then I have some that come from Texas. And that's just, it's so wonderful to be able to see them. And when they're noisy, I go into my room. But what I do, I love to listen to the noise when I'm in my room, to listen to their little voices, and so that's what I enjoy. That's why I live to be 99. Oh, and to give all this beautiful advice. I mean, they both go one ear and out the other. Okay.
Actually, so on that note, at Double J Records on Twitter, that's his Twitter handle, wants to know how many grandkids and great-grandkids you have.
Let's see, I think I have 6 grandchildren and 11 great-grandchildren.
Wow.
Who's your favorite of all of them?
The same question he asked. You know, all of my grandchildren are pretty successful and wonderful. And they're all my favorites.
But there is?
But there is one person. There is one person that makes me laugh. No, all of my.
Well,
that
if you
is,
had to rank them, though.
That is unfair, Mikey. That's unfair. They're all different, as your children are all different. They're all different, you know. And I love everything that's different about them, you know. That's just the way it is. Because there are a lot of, I have crazy grandchildren. They're so much fun. Yeah, they're fun. Battering back and forth is fun. Yeah, I love them.
We have another question from Twitter. Chad M wants to know, what technology advancements amaze you the most and why?
Advancement. Well, I think that it is something that is very convenient, and but I think it hurts. I think it. What am I trying to say? You know, I don't want to know what anybody else is doing at the moment, and I don't want them to know what I'm doing every minute of the day.
They literally know right now what you're doing.
Technology is happening.
I'm exposing my whole life. But I think, and I said this before, you know, when the grandchildren are doing something and they're so beautiful and so sweet, get the camera out. And what it does, it ruins that moment of just watching them. But that camera has to go out, you know. And so immediately they already know it at this age. They pose right away, you know. So, but I do love to see the pictures all the time. I really do. But I think it's, you know, you see people at the dinner table, they'll have their things, and I think the communication, I think that they should be thrown out from the table, taken away from the table, and communicate and talk. And the language on, you know, they don't really write. They just, you know, they don't even write. You know, it's all short. And is that the way the life is going to be? We're all going to talk just like we're communicating with the thing, you know? Well, maybe. Let me say, I'm a little bit jealous because I can't word the dumb things. I have a pad, you know?
iPad?
An iPad, and I try to get to some of the stuff, and I punch, and oh, I got it, and then I forget where I punched it. I didn't know which thing I punched to get what I'm getting. I actually got it just to read, just to be able to read. And so, and here's my 5-year-olds or 4-year-olds, and here they are, you know, and they can do it. And so I think I'm a little bit jealous too that I can't work it. In fact, that's one of my goals. I'm going to learn how to use this thing if it kills me. Yeah, so I can. Oh, I shouldn't say that. It may use all my brain cells to figure it out. Oh gosh.
So actually, on that note, Damien Sowers on Twitter wanted to know what your goals were for this year. So other than so do you have any other than learning how to
goals that I have for the year? I don't make goals. I just live from day to day, and I'm just so happy for the day. Well, another day is coming. Well, I do. I have a list of goals that I want to do, and I might get 2 out of 10 done. But I've quit making goals. I've quit making goals. It isn't necessary. I'm just happy where I am. And listen, I'm good to get up in the morning. What do you think? That's a goal, to get up in the morning, take a shower. That's a goal. That's all I can say. You know?
That's people's goals sometime any age. So that's a common goal.
I think people lie when they say they have all these goals anyway. So yeah. If I get up in the morning and I can see, and I go for that one day at a time. Yeah.
This question was actually submitted by me, so I guess it's a question from Wendy's. What is the coolest thing you've seen invented in your lifetime?
The invention?
Yeah, like
The coolest. Well, when I was young, I remember we had the radio. It was the big invention at that time. We had this little crystal thing and it was squeaked. So I guess the radio was the, yeah. And of course the second would be the television.
yeah.
That was a big thing, television, yeah, yeah. And getting on an airplane, because they used to just take mail. They didn't have passengers, they just took mail. So, yeah. Oh, there was a lot. There were so many things going on at that time. I can't remember, but I remember the radio and the TV, yeah.
Really cool. At Vicky DJL wants to know if you have any advice on raising teenagers.
On what?
Raising teenagers.
Oh, heavenly days. You just let them grow. You never know what's going to happen with teenagers. I think that boys are easier to raise as teenagers than girls. Because girls cry a lot. And no, I think you just have to, you're not friends with your teenagers. You're their mother and dad. And so you do your very best at trying to guide them. But they have their own list of things that they want to do. So you have to encourage them. And I will say I'm very proud of my daughter, the way she raised her 3 boys. Mike was interested in art. And so she saw to it that he had all the equipment when he was just a little boy. He had his desk and pens and paper, and that's why Mike is a very good artist. And
Is Mike the one that your favorite that you mentioned earlier?
and I'm not talking to you, Mike. And then let's see, the oldest is Tom, and he was interested in sports. And she saw to it he went to games, and so his father saw to it that he got to his games, and he's still athletic. And Mark was a musical, so he plays the viola, and he took voice lessons and the piano. And so what she did, she guided them, each one, with the thing that they were interested in doing and what they were capable of doing, what they enjoyed doing. And I think that, I don't know whether I did that or not, I don't remember. But I tried. But I had good kids, yeah.
That's great advice. Help them find their passions.
They have to find where they should be, yeah. What they're capable of doing well. And be happy at what they're doing. So many people aren't happy in the positions they're in. And I think it's important to have a place where you're working where you're happy, yeah. That's it.
You had a lot of agreement from people on Periscope about raising boys is easier than raising girls in terms of teenagers. So people are agreeing with you.
Well, boys keep, well, there's one thing. Boys don't communicate as well as girls do. They keep a lot to themselves. And girls, you know, they just talk all the time. But with boys, they're just easier to raise. As far as maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe better to delete that.
It's too late at 5.
I'm in trouble with my girls. But you know, girls cry a lot. You know, but the thing is, they're open about what they are thinking, where a boy isn't, and they talk about their troubles and everything. But my kids, when they were little, they were the cutest babies ever.
So we have another question from Twitter. @FiberPig wants to know what makes you smile.
What makes me smile?
Yeah.
What a question to ask. What makes me smile? Because I'm happy.
That was easy.
Isn't that a simple answer?
That was.
Oh, gosh. She had to really think about that one, didn't she? Oh, man. Oh gosh.
At eCray on Twitter wants to know what dance move should everyone know how to do.
Dance moves?
Yeah.
Were you a dancer?
Great day in the morning, I'm good to stand up. Oh, when I was younger, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see, what we waltz? Doesn't that sound? And yeah, foxtrot and waltzing. But my husband was a klutz, so we didn't do much dancing. When he waltzed, there was 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But he's a wonderful man. I have to throw that in. The one thing he couldn't do was dance. Are we in? Are we finished?
We have a couple more.
Okay.
At Karen Zelnick wants to know if you could give advice to your 30-year-old self, what would it be?
Oh, my 30-year-old self. I'm trying to think. My 30-year-old self. Go back to school and finish my degree. Get my degree.
What would you have gotten your degree in?
Well, I was interested in psychology, but the teachers were a little bit goofy, so I thought, no, I'm not going that. No, zoology, because I was interested, zoology, the sciences, yeah. But, you know, when you're raising children, you just don't take time out to do that, and I was doing a lot of other things too, but I'm sorry that I just didn't go ahead. But, you know, here I am. It didn't hurt me. So I really appreciate you young ladies getting your degree, and so did my children. So that, yeah. I think it's important for girls to get their education. Very important.
Somebody asked on here, what is your beauty secret? So you must be looking good. You are.
Yes.
Wow, I'm
lots
a
of
babe.
comments. Lots of comments about how
Wow.
great you look.
Oh, yeah.
Oh gosh. Anyway, should I tell you what makeup I use?
Well,
No, that'd be against the. Remember, against the rules.
On your best behavior.
our lawyers wouldn't like that, but
Well, I think, let's see, eating good food and taking your makeup before you go to bed.
yeah.
It's good advice.
Important one.
Don't leave it on your face.
We also had another one come through here. Someone was asking, what is your proudest moment?
My proudest moment. Oh my proudest. I've had so many. I just haven't just had one. I've had so many proud moments. I'm proud of my family. And family is the most important thing that we have. I'm proud of myself. And that might sound egotistical, but we went through a lot during World War II. And I felt that I was a strong person for my husband, because I didn't sometimes know where he was. But I'm just proud of what I've accomplished, which is not great, it's not in the encyclopedia, but it's just that we've had such a happy life, and we've had our sorrows too, but we came through okay. But I think that I'm the proudest of my family, and I have such a great son-in-law that he does so much for me, and I just, so proud of him. But that's all I can say. I don't know, without getting over down here.
Of course. We had
I think my first child, excuse me.
Oh no, keep going.
The first child, when I held him in my arms, it's like a miracle. And you think, did I do that? Oh, I did. That's a miracle. Each child that I held, I thought, oh, that's such a miracle. And I've had a very happy life. I feel very fortunate and blessed. That's why I look so good, because I'm so That's a happy life. Oh dear, are we done?
We can take a break if you want.
No, oh, you have just one more question.
So we had someone ask through here, what advice would you give to a 10-year-old girl?
Oh, a 10-year-old girl. Oh, when I was 10 years old, oh, that's a long story. Oh, I was free as a bird as a 10-year-old girl. I read poetry. Oh, at 10. They don't have a worry in the world at 10, do they? I was so happy as a child at 10. I did a lot of things when I was 10 years old. I was picking up pollywogs and doing all. I thought I could make a lot of money by selling pollywogs. It's true. It's true. And yeah, don't go with the trend, because that's when the young girls nowadays, they go with the trend. Just be yourself. I didn't go with the trend because I had, well, I shouldn't say, but I had, oh no, I have, no, I'll keep quiet on that.
Maybe we'll hear that when the camera turns on.
Well, it's just a little thing, you know, I don't believe in going along with the group. I mean, with whatever everybody else is doing. And so when I was in school, I had thicker eyebrows, and so everybody, and at that time, it was the style to have these little thin, and I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to make these thin little eyebrows. And so I just never went along with the trend at all. I just didn't, I would tell the 10-year-old to just do what they think is right, the little girl. Just be their own stylist. Don't think about it, whatever everybody else is doing.
That's really great advice. So I think we're going to take a little break for now.
We're done? Oh,
And
that's
we'll be back in a little bit. Thank
great.
you for tuning in and watching and celebrating
we're
Grandma
done though
Eileen's
with
birthday
questions,
with us.
right? We're done with questions. Okay. Well, that was